He was the most powerful man alive, and every night alone he wrote notes reminding himself not to be an idiot. That is Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome. Here are the 10 lessons from his private journal that will quietly rewire how you think. Let's get into it. 1. You were not born to lay in bed. Every morning you lose the first battle before you even stand up. You know exactly what I mean. That negotiation where the blanket starts winning arguments it has no business winning. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of the most powerful empire in history, wrote about this exact moment. In the morning when thou findest thyself unwilling to rise, consider with thyself presently, it is to go about a man's work that I am stirred up. Or was I made for this, to lay me down and make much of myself in a warm bed? The man who commanded armies could not get out of bed some mornings. That should either comfort you or scare you, because if he had to fight this battle daily, what makes you think it ever gets easy? It does not. You will always feel like staying down. The only question is whether what you're building matters more than the comfort of doing nothing. The day is already moving. It is not waiting on you. 2. The armor nobody can see. There is a type of person that chaos cannot touch. You have met one. The room falls apart around them, and they just stand there, reading the situation like they already know how it ends. Marcus had a name for this. Thou must be like a promontory of the sea, against which though the waves beat continually, yet it both itself stands, and about it are those swelling waves stilled and quieted. A cliff does not argue with the ocean. It does not flinch. It just stands. The waves break themselves against it, and eventually the water goes still. That stillness is not luck. It is built quietly through every moment you chose not to react when everything in you wanted to. 3. Stop having an opinion about everything. Imagine a curse. You wake up tomorrow with a strong opinion about everything you see, every post, every person who does something slightly wrong near you, every piece of news. Everything demands a reaction. That sounds like torture. I just described most people's Tuesday. Marcus wrote, "Let opinion be taken away, and no man will think himself wronged." The people who actually build things are not smarter. They are just more selective about what gets to live rent-free in their heads. Most of what offends you was never aimed at you. Most of what you have strong opinions about will not matter in a week. You have the power to have no opinion. Use it like the weapon it is. 4. The best revenge, and why most people get it wrong. Years ago, I had a business partner who took everything we built and walked. No warning, just gone, with the clients and the credit. I spent months planning what I would say if I ever saw him again. Then I read 5 words that made the whole revenge fantasy collapse. The best kind of revenge is not to become like unto them. Here is what nobody tells you about revenge. The moment you start plotting it, you start becoming the thing you hate. You adopt their coldness, their willingness to let bitterness drive everything. And somewhere around month 3 of carrying it, you are not reacting to what they did anymore. You are just a worse version of yourself. Marcus was betrayed by his own general, Avidius Cassius, who declared himself emperor while Marcus lay sick and possibly dying. His response was mercy. He told the Senate he refused to let his reign be remembered by blood, walk through betrayal, and come out cleaner on the other side. That is the hardest thing a human being can do. 5. Your anxiety is a liar. The Stoics figured out something we still pretend we do not know. Anxiety is not something the world does to you. It is something you do to yourself. Marcus caught himself on this. He wrote that he had a good day because he escaped anxiety, then stopped and corrected himself. No, I discarded it because it was within me, not the plague, not the war, not the generals plotting against him. His own imagination running ahead of reality and building disasters that had not happened yet. Your boss sends a short email and you are already rehearsing being fired. Someone goes quiet and you have built an entire story about what it means. None of that is real, but you are suffering from it as if it is. The fix is brutal in its simplicity. Stick with what is actually in front of you. That is the only place where you have power anyway. 6. Ask this before you do anything. Most people are not lazy. They are wasting their effort on the wrong things at maximum speed. Marcus had one filter he held every task up against. Is this essential? Not is it interesting? Not is it expected? Is it essential? Most of what fills your day is not. It is obligation, wearing the costume of importance. The scroll, the meeting that should have been an email, the yes you said because no felt uncomfortable. When you cut the inessential, what remains gets sharper, easier to care about, easier to do well. Energy is finite. What you say yes to always costs something. Make it worth paying for. 7. What happens after you fall? Everyone talks about building discipline. Nobody talks about the morning after you destroy it. You broke the streak, said the wrong thing, made the call you promised yourself you would not make. Marcus wrote, "Whensoever by some present hard occurrences thou art constrained to be in some sort troubled and vexed, return unto thyself as soon as may be, and be not out of tune longer than thou must needs." Return unto thyself, as soon as may be, not after you have punished yourself enough to feel like you earned the reset. Now, get back into rhythm before the fall becomes a story you tell about yourself. The difference between people who stay on track and people who spiral is not that the first group never fails. It is that they get back before the failure gets a name. Bad day, not bad life. Move. 8. Stop waiting on the world. Walter White believed the world owed him recognition. When it did not deliver, he took it by force. By the end, he had destroyed everything he claimed he was protecting. The delusion was never about the myth. It was about expectation. Marcus ruled an empire, while plague killed millions and corruption ate through his administration. He wrote himself this note: "I must not expect a Plato's commonwealth. People are not going to suddenly become honest. The system is not going to suddenly become fair. Human nature has not been updated in 2,000 years." Marcus complained about the same people you are complaining about right now. Stop waiting for them to change. Start building something that does not require them to. 9. The scoreboard nobody else can see. There is a version of ambition that will quietly hollow you out. The version where other people are the scorekeepers, where how you feel about your work depends entirely on whether someone noticed, approved, or clapped. Marcus called this insanity. Then he wrote something that should stop you cold. "I have often wondered how it should come to pass that every man loving himself best should more regard other men's opinions concerning himself than his own." Read that again. You love yourself more, and yet you hand control of how you feel about yourself to people who are mostly thinking about themselves anyway. The only honest scoreboard is the private one. End of the day, no one watching. Did I do the work? Did I hold my standard? That is the only game worth playing. 10. You could leave life right now. I saved this one for last because it is the only one that can change you tonight if you let it. Whatsoever thou dost affect, whatsoever thou dost project, so do, and so project all, as one who, for aught thou knowest, may at this very present depart out of this life. Not as a dark thought, as a compass. Most people operate like they have a deal with the future. The important conversation can wait until things calm down. The person they love will still be there after the project is finished. There will be a better time to show up fully than right now. There will not always be. Alexander the Great and the man who cleaned his mules both died. Same ending, different names. Marcus wrote that himself. So the question is not what you are going to do eventually. It is what you are going to do with the hour you actually have, the conversation you are walking into after this, the person in front of you tonight. Do it like it counts, because one day it will have been the last time. Marcus died in 180 AD, likely from the same plague grinding through his empire. We still don't know the exact reason. He never got the quiet life. He died in a military camp on campaign, still working. The journal he wrote for nobody has outlasted every emperor who came after him, not because of what he conquered, because of how hard he fought to be decent when the world gave him every excuse not to be. You know what the right thing is. Now do it. Thank you for watching. If you want to see what the mainstream hides from you, ancient wisdom that actually transforms your life, join my Patreon for the lessons they don't want you to learn. I'll see you in the next one.